Previously on the Rude Boys Power Hour.
It's the Rude Boys. We're here for the Power Hour every other week of your life, and ours too. I'm Sherm.
I'm Tom, here to bring you some shitty-ass content.
So, better than the first Ant-Man? What do you say?
No.
No?
All
right.
First Ant-Man holds a special
But
spot.
still pretty good, right?
Still very good, yeah.
I would say adequate to that range, you know what I mean?
You realize you and I shouldn't have seen this movie together, right?
Because we did not see the first Ant-Man together.
Exactly.
No, you're absolutely right, but you know what? You can't separate these Rude Boys. Oh, God. I'm not feeling well.
Shit, I fucked up. I really gotta watch my snapping. For the Rude Boys, this is your boy Cash. We're gonna work on getting Chris back. See ya.
Now the thrilling conclusion already in progress.
There. The summoning circle is complete. And now for the snap. Nothing. What the fuck am I missing? Huh. Yes.
What's up, Rude Nation?
I lived, bitch. That was
It was.
Fuck.
It was all those things and more. I'm back. Rude Nation, don't fret. We're back. The Rude Boys are back whole, 100% for you.
All about that hole.
The Rude Nation. Every time I say something and then 2 seconds later it registers in your head and then 3 seconds after that you have to come up with a lewd comment. No, please don't snap. Please don't snap. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's what I thought.
Well, back again for the Rude Boys Power Hour. I'm Sherm.
I'm Tom.
You gonna apologize though for sending me to the soul world or no?
Oh, you had it coming. No, I apologize. That was very
I'm not gonna lie, it actually wasn't all that bad.
it was very destructive of me.
It was very destructive of you, killing all 50% of the population. But thank you for bringing me back.
Of course.
Yeah.
I need someone to carry the show.
This is true, yeah.
This shit content.
But yeah, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad over there. Yeah. It was just, it was basically everything I could have done in the real world, but just I wasn't on social media.
Huh.
So it was actually a wonderful place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Except I couldn't talk to the nation. That was really what was really.
Yeah, I can understand
really
that.
just wanted to talk to the nation because there was so much going on, but I just can't talk about it anymore because it's after the fact. And we're here now talking to you, the nation, with our voices into your ears. With your mouth.
Our good friends, Miller High Life.
You know what else is not in the soul world? MHLs.
Oh.
So it really doesn't make.
So it was hell.
It really kind of was.
It was hell on.
Yeah.
It was.
I thought not hearing the Twitter Nazis every fucking 3 minutes on Twitter or whatever.
The Twazies.
Yeah, okay, that's not a word, but not having MHLs, that was the problem.
Yeah.
There's still Blue Moon and stuff like that, but no MHLs, kind of puts a damper.
Yeah. No MHLs. That's like every goddamn sports bar.
That is true.
Around
Yeah.
here.
So it's not like it was anything I could have changed, but anyway.
But you would if you could.
But in my mouth is the delicious taste of Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. It's premium blue. Take it from the top. Premium brewed. That's hard to say. That could be hard to say. San Diego Comic-Con.
Premium brewed.
You want to clink it up?
Clink it up.
Good clink.
Mm-hmm.
So Nation is happening. It is in
Yep.
the air. We're all about it. We are, of course, recording before San Diego Comic-Con, so none of this is pertaining to the events and all that shit that happened. But we are going to be talking about comic books, specifically comic book arcs and our favorite ones. Like, in the past couple episodes, Tommy and I have been talking about Spider Island, Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, well, yeah, oh god, get ready for Spider-Man talk. So this kind of got the ball rolling, and we're going to talk about our favorite comic book arcs. Yeah. What do you say there, Tommy? You want to do a little blitzkrieg, though, before we go?
Yeah, well, looks
You're
great.
fucking tipsy.
All right, Rue Nation, what is up? Video game news. We got Darksiders 3 coming November 27th, 2018.
That is correct, yeah.
That's awesome. Never played the series.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't play Darksiders 1?
Nope. You never let me borrow it. Every time you're like, yeah, I'll let you borrow it, I'll let you borrow it, I'll let you borrow it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's out on current
think-
consoles now.
Actually, I think
you should totally play it.
Actually, I'll have to look at the PS4. My brother may have it. Download.
I don't doubt it, man. That
Yeah.
Darksiders 1 is fantastic. It takes place in like a post-apocalyptic universe.
Okay.
You're playing as, in the series, the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Okay.
There's only 3 games. You're only playing as the 3, but presumably there'll be a 4th. Whatever. The first one is a straight-up Zelda clone.
Okay.
In the best way possible. Wonderful. The series has Joe Mad. His art,
Nice,
his whole
nice,
design.
nice.
I think
Okay.
it was like Visual Entertainment or some shit like that. It was originally owned by THQ. They folded. The assets got bought up by Nordic Games, and now they are cashing in and making a Darksiders 3.
That's cool.
Darksiders 2 I never really got into. It was
Okay.
very more...
God of War-ish, I
No,
heard?
more
Oh.
RPG-ish.
Okay.
A lot of loot. A lot of grinding to get good items. A lot of I want to
love
run it.
grinding.
You might dig Darksiders 2.
Yeah.
But Darksiders 1 is fantastic. I am looking forward to playing it or replaying it during the Halloween
Okay,
because
cool.
it is spooky games. Got some monsters and stuff like that.
Monsters.
It's got monsters.
Scared.
Something I want to mention about Darksiders 3 release is
Okay.
that, like all AAA games coming out, they've got the big badass editions.
Okay.
So the big badass edition for this one is a $400 edition.
Jesus.
That comes with 4 fucking statues of the 3 released or 3 playable horsemen of the apocalypse. And the shopkeeper or whatever, you don't even know, but whatever. But dude, Joe Mad's art.
Oh,
I love Joe
yeah.
Mad's art. Like early 2000s X-Men, 100%.
Yep.
He did what, Gen 13 or something like that?
no, that was Jim Lee.
That was Jim Lee?
Jim Lee did Gen
I'm sure
13.
I got up in the mix. I saw a lot of
Yeah.
art from Wizard magazine.
Okay.
That I'm sure he did. So he probably like fan arted it or whatever. But there's something about that art and those statues. I'm like, fuck.
Just boner intensifying.
It does intensify my boner.
There you go. All right, cool.
And in the Soul World, the boner lasts for 6 hours. Anything else in game news?
We got apparently a fan-made short film for Uncharted starring the very talented Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
I watched a little bit of it today. I
was like
didn't
a
get a chance to finish
15-minute,
it. It was pretty
20-minute
cool.
clip. Yeah, no, it was cool.
I dig it. Anything with Nathan Fillion, I'm on
He was
board
good in
for.
it. He was good in it. For some reason, though, I just can't separate Nathan Drake and Nolan North. Like,
Okay.
his voice and that face is inseparable. Like,
But he did nail some of like the facial
oh yeah, no,
expressions.
he did a
which
very
is pretty
good
cool.
job playing Nathan Drake. But
Right.
for some reason, when I hear Nathan Drake, or even when I see Nathan Fillion doing the Drake mannerisms, I still hear Nolan North. It's really
Right.
weird. That character is Nolan North.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it was very cool proof of concept. Maybe it'll be something. I mean, it does have a very fan film atmosphere to it.
Okay.
It is, a little budget, but
Right.
I mean, Nathan Fillion's giving it its all.
Yeah, I mean he does anything, like he loves the fans.
Yeah.
Like he's
a fan slut. Yeah.
Yeah, he really is.
Probably
and
picks up a couple rats over at San Diego Comic-Con.
He could pick me up.
What
So
do we got? Speaking of comics,
comic books, unproduced Alien 3 script to get adapted into a Dark Horse comic.
I see your eyes rolling as you read that.
See, I kind of dug Alien 3.
Oh, I had no problem with Alien
I'm
3,
like-
but it definitely was a tonal shift in
Oh,
the in the franchise, especially after how Aliens was very well received and how
Absolutely.
that movie went, and then how in the first half hour everything is
Went
all
to
the results
shit.
are just wiped from that. So I did read a little bit about this. It was put up by a sci-fi writer whose name I can't remember. I apologize, but you don't listen anyway, so it doesn't matter. And apparently the movie that we saw, David Fincher's Alien 3, has nothing to do with this script.
Okay.
So basically it's almost like a side story, like an aliens, a guy dead, and you see what happens with Ripley posts Aliens with
Okay.
Newt and all those other characters that did not
Hicks.
survive the...
Right.
That was the robot, right?
No,
wasn't the
that was
robot.
Bishop.
That was Bishop, yes.
Hicks is like, no, wait. I think Hicks was like the dude who survived with Ripley, or is Hicks the one that goes game over, man?
Oh,
Game
Bill
over.
Paxton? Bill
Yeah.
Pullman? Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. Bill
R.I.P.
Paxton, only man to get killed by a predator, an alien, and a Terminator.
And life.
Wow. What else we got?
It's not on the list, but in comic books, it seems like Marvel is correcting a severe wrong with Spider-Man.
Oh, here, Spider-Man talk, boys. Drink.
Yeah, drink. So they're starting in at Amazing Spider-Man 1,
yes, I know
and apparently, like, he's having a dream where he takes Mary Jane to their spot,
right,
which is at the top of the Empire State Building, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that spot.
Yeah.
Continue.
Oh. No. He gets to Mary Jane's spot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, like, he was, it was just a dream, but it seems like they are trying to put it towards that way.
Right, yeah.
I mean, people are, always try to ship fucking Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. Well, guess what? They did have a spot. It's called the Brooklyn Bridge.
Whoops.
Snap. Speaking of snapping.
Oh, easy. Hey.
Oh.
Too soon.
Not again. Movies,
motion pictures.
New Dragon Ball Super movie is gonna have Broly in it, which I believe this does make Broly canon then?
Well, here we go about all this Broly canon bullshit.
Fuck.
So, unless it is something that was put out by Akira Toriyama through the manga or the anime,
okay,
it is considered canon.
Okay.
All the movies, so like your Cooler, your Turles, your World's Strongest, your Garlic Juniors, your all that stuff isn't canon. Bardock isn't canon unless it is referenced in the manga or the anime.
Okay.
So characters such as Bardock, or even Golden Frieza, or Beerus are now canon because they were referenced in those things. There's only a few movies that are not considered canon, and Broly's movies are not considered canon. So, if this movie kind of then reintroduces Broly in the Dragon Ball Super, I don't want to say universe because it is all technically one timeline, or maybe it will introduce him into the canon universe.
Okay.
We'll have to see what happens, but everyone's freaking out about it because Broly is a big fan favorite Dragon Ball Z character. He's, the legendary Super Saiyan, the big old bad guy who wanted to kill Goku.
I was never impressed.
Oh, well, okay, that's fine.
By Broly.
I was never impressed. Broly, yawn.
Yep, exactly. Confirmed! Billy D. Williams will be in episode 9, probably getting killed off.
Oh boy. I don't think so.
Oh, come on. They've killed everyone.
They have to bring back some people that won't die.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? 'Cause you don't got Han in the movie. You don't got Luke. You don't have Carrie Fisher.
Being in the Soul World has made you a pussy.
Well,
he's gonna die.
Time changes differently back then.
Yeah, he's gonna die.
A lot of retrospecting.
Yeah, a lot of soul searching. Okay.
I kept hearing that like every 24 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of annoying, but it was like a good way to be like, okay, it's a new day. I get it.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
What else we got, Tom? Let's keep it Blitzkrieg.
I'm gonna butcher this name. Neil Blomkamp.
Blumkin.
To direct new RoboCop.
Yeah, so this is like another reboot in the RoboCop franchise.
Gotta be better than the one that they came out with.
That wasn't good? Did you see it?
I've heard nothing but horrible things about it.
Here's a hot take. I've never seen a RoboCop movie.
Really?
Yep, really.
We're gonna have to add that to the Every Boys Go to the Movies.
How many RoboCop movies were there?
Well, let me put this way.
Reboot? Just the two?
No.
How many
three.
Oh, don't say no. Three is close to two. If you told me 5, I would have been just like, oh shit, okay.
3 plus the cartoon.
And the live action TV
television.
show. Yep.
Television show.
Yep. Sure.
And also the
man, Blitzkrieg.
Yeah. Shut up. Anyway, the first one's the one worth watching.
I got you.
All right.
Do you want to go let him up? Or
no, Will DMX can wait.
Got you.
He's in trouble. Kate Shortland to direct Black Widow solo film. I looked this broad up.
She could get it. So we do not mean to diminish your
no, I don't know anything that she's directed.
No, she did a lot of indie stuff, a lot of stuff that got a lot of like
shit.
Cannes Film Festival buzz and stuff like that. But that's kind of been the Kevin Feige and the MCU's agenda, is that they will get all. They would get directors that might not have set the world on fire, and they'll strike gold. Like, that's kind of what they've been doing, and that's kind of what they've been good at. And the fact of the matter is that they've had way more successes than fails.
Absolutely.
Probably means that they know how to vet their creative staff, their cast, their directors, and stuff like that. And
take my toys away.
Sorry. And
I'm sorry.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
All right, Venom looks cool. I don't know. I'm sold, but I'm not sold.
Right,
At the same time.
But like, I think like everything that we've seen from Venom so far. So like the first trailer, meh, big meh. The second trailer, meh.
You know what pisses me off about the second?
And then this picture's like, you know what I mean? I'm waiting to go, all right. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for that.
The thing that pisses me off about the first trailer, how many movies have we seen this summer so far? And we keep seeing that same Venom trailer.
That is true.
It's almost as bad as that goddamn Mission Impossible trailer.
I feel like this was just a roundabout way for you to vent about Mission Impossible. Do you just want to vent about Mission Impossible?
No. I've never seen those movies.
Me neither.
I mean, I'm wondering if it's kind of like porn. Like, do you gotta watch the other ones? Like, do you gotta watch Fisting Fireman 8 to watch Fisting Fireman 9?
Who's fisting these firemen?
No, the firemen are doing the fisting.
Oh, so it's an adjective, not a verb.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right. That really did clear it up. See, I would have need to know that context in order to
keep it
what I'm getting into fisting firemen.
Keep it blitzkrieg. Come on.
Got it. Wrestling news?
Wrestling news.
Okay, what do we got?
Let me tell you something, brother. Hulkamania's back, dude. Running wild in the WWE Hall of Fame. Jack.
Wow.
Drink your vitamins.
Keep going. Yeah, you're good.
Say your prayers. Hulkamania rules.
Mean Gene, baby. Mean Gene, live in effect.
Yeah, right? Imagine that.
Hulkamania, running wild.
My arm.
Call the WCW hotline.
So
that racist is back. Different than, I'm assuming, all the other racists in the Hall of Fame. But this one just got caught being a racist. But now he's back.
Which, hold on. Here's what I don't get. The shit that the Iron Sheik says.
Oh, the Iron Sheik can say whatever the hell he wants. He is a motherfucking OG Wall Street banger. He can do no wrong.
I kind of feel Hogan is the same way.
No, because he's American.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Wow, so
like,
hold on.
Iron Sheik can just ramble all he wants,
okay.
And I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm okay with what. Oh God, I don't want to finish that sentence.
What? Finish it. Finish it.
I
full of grace.
I don't necessarily 100% endorse
racism.
Oh my God, you're putting words in my mouth. That's the only thing you're putting in my mouth today, buddy. All right,
keep drinking.
You got me back from the soul. Keep drinking.
Keep drinking. And we'll see what goes in your mouth.
I like the Iron Sheik.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan. You got busted. You did your time getting suspended from the WWE. You bankrupted Gawker. Who cares? Everyone, let's move on. See, exactly. You don't even remember.
I don't even know what it was in the first place.
Well, I'll move on.
Cool.
Hulkamania. Running wild, Jack.
Awesome. That's all we got for
That's all the Blitzkrieg news?
Yeah, brother.
All the Blitzkrieg news. Alrighty, Tommy. What have you been up to in my time away in the soul world when you snap me?
I was drinking.
Drinking yourself sad?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I was playing some Uncharted 3.
Oh, yeah? How's that going?
It's going good. I'm on chapter 11. I'm working now with, what's her nuts? The blonde.
Elena?
Yeah. Can't wait to bang her in the tombs.
I'm gonna be disappointed. Spoiler alert.
Oh, man. Yo, those spiders are so annoying.
Yeah, maybe you tell me about that. I do not remember that because I played that game years ago.
Yeah, I know. Alright, look. Really? I just picked up a second gig.
Right, okay. So
a third gig, actually.
Busy
so
making
stacking the paper.
Yep,
stacking the paper. So,
taking care of bills.
Taking care of bills, stacking
cash,
paper.
all
Damn
those
right, baby.
Got child support payments.
Got to take care of my employees.
All the cars. Yep. Coke habits, whatever.
Whoa, believe me.
Coca-Cola.
That's how I have this girlish figure, Coca-Cola, baby. But yeah, Really nothing. I
Yeah?
have been kind of just focusing on trying to get you back.
I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you so much, man. You're a true brother and a
Sorry
true
it took
boy.
2 weeks.
Well, you know what? Better 2 weeks than 2 months, I guess, or 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you did it on your own pace, and and you know what? A win's a win.
There you go.
All right?
A friend's a friend.
Exactly.
What have you been up to?
Well, my
dude?
time in the Soul World, the eternal pit of hell and damnation, where there was no MHLs, I did actually play some video games. I
Okay,
managed
cool.
to squeeze in some of those. I played. I'm back replaying Shovel Knight, Shovel
Nice.
of Hope. So Shovel Knight is a game that Tommy and I are both fans of. I kickstarted it back in the day. Tom played it. He dug
I
it.
did not.
He did not kickstart it, correct, but he played it. He dug it.
Mm-hmm.
You actually, thinking about it, don't have a way to play it again, huh? Because I know you sold your Wii U, and you still have your 3DS.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could play it if you so choose. You could technically get all the DLC for free.
Really?
So if that is something you would want to check out beforehand, it's up to
I
you.
probably
It's your life.
will.
All right.
Live your life.
Those are pretty cool. But I was playing the actual Shovel Knight campaign, which is actually called Shovel of Hope.
Okay.
It's kind of like got a new name with all the other DLC chapters that
Cool,
came along.
cool.
So it's for those who don't know, it's a retro throwback. It was actually one of like the big Kickstarter success stories.
Nope, not facing.
All right. It was put out by Yacht Club Games, which is like almost like guys who came off of Way Forward Games, and it is almost like a very pitch perfect send off to NES platformers. So like your Mega Mans, your Super Mario Brothers,
Castlevania.
DuckTales, Castlevanias. Yeah, it's all that stuff and more. Great art, great music, great controls. This game pisses me off because it is so fucking cheap. But it is it is fair about it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like anything I do when I die, it's on me. 100%.
Yep.
I fall, I get killed, I hit a spike, that's on me.
Absolutely.
And I can only be mad at me. And that to me is a good game because it's like the game ain't cheating.
No.
As
Eating's not cheating.
Sure. Well, I didn't agree to that. Let's take a step back. Shovel Knight is great. I love it so much. I played it on the Switch, though, so the Switch doesn't have a good D-pad on the Joy-Cons. So, you know for a fact.
Fucking.
And it's making very particular platforming difficult. Mm-hmm. I know I was told this when I mentioned this when I was playing, I believe It'll Do, last episode, that I was thinking about getting like a Joy-Con mod to have an actual D-pad on the left Joy-Con. I didn't really look into it because I think there's going to be a third-party Joy-Con coming out with a D-pad. I might as well just do that. I also started playing Life is Strange Before the Storm. So I talked about playing...
I thought that meant behind the scenes.
Nope. So I talked about playing Captain Awesome.
Uh-huh.
And it brought me back into the Life is Strange universe. I liked it. I got back into Life is Strange Before the Storm. So it's like a prequel before the actual Life is Strange. That came out, I believe, a year or two ago. And this one deals with one of the co-stars of the first series of the game, Chloe.
Okay.
And it's basically her being a rebellious youth. And it is honestly kind of annoying and slow because it is very like slice of life-ish. And it's very like, oh, go do this thing. Like, oh, you got to come down for breakfast.
Right.
Like, I know it's setting up for a bigger picture. And I know it's going to pay off really well because I have heard a lot of good buzz and hype online. But it got to a point where I was just playing it, and I'm just like, oh, my God, this is going so slow. The most exciting time I had with it, though, in Episode 1, I didn't even finish Episode 1. Like, that's how slow I was moving. Episode 1, you can participate in a makeshift Dungeons and Dragons game.
Okay.
And it was like 20 minutes. It was actually kind of fun. Like, just the dialogue and stuff like that. Like, I wasn't really... I mean, I'm sure everything was scripted very well, but it gave me a sense of, like, ooh, like, this is kind of neat. Like, this is kind of a fun thing to just kind of bullshit and do. You know what I mean? It wasn't even like I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. I was playing someone playing Dungeons and Dragons, which is, like, another level of just nerdiness. But it was interesting, and it kind of grabbed my attention.
Did it spark any interest in playing Dungeons and Dragons? Absolutely not.
I'm not gonna lie. I remember hearing one of our buddies say that he wanted to do like a startup, like quick Dungeons and Dragons game, which basically can just take anybody without any sort of initiation into D&D and get them to play. Mm-hmm. I don't know whatever happened to that. We got to talk to him, figure out what's going on with that.
Probably got added to the list.
Okay, that's quite possible.
Probably got snapped.
Could be. Hey, could have been. I've also finished Glow season 2.
Nice.
We could talk about this a little bit, Tommy.
Sure.
So where I ended it last episode was, I believe, episode 7. So one of the main character, Ruth, she gets an injury, goes to the hospital.
Fuck you, Debbie.
Yeah, seriously. Gets an injury and then comes back from injury. The next episode was like an episode of Glow.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I really hated it.
Really?
You know why?
You're the only person to say.
I didn't like it at all because, like, I like the character. Well, okay, I like the cast.
Okay.
And I like the characters they portray, but I don't want to see those characters. Does that make sense? Like, I'd rather see the behind the scenes and those people get into the characters.
Okay.
And those people portray the characters for a little bit, but not like a full storyline episode. Like, I didn't really need that, and that was, to me, the slowest episode. Because I think I really do like the interactions the characters have. Like, Mark Maron, one of my favorite characters on that show, one of my favorite actors on that show. I mean, he was a background character in that entire episode. I didn't like that. Bash, I love that guy. Is fucking hilarious. He was really nowhere in the episode.
Justine,
who, yeah.
Okay,
good. We're on the same page.
Her and Britannica.
Yeah, okay. She's a star on England, I think. She's like a singer or some shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She could be a star on me.
Okay.
Any day.
I think she hums a lot.
Does she?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll give her a tune.
But I did like it. It was definitely more of the same stuff, which was great. And a lot of different character developments, a lot of growth. I really didn't like certain characters in the beginning, and then I was fine with them towards the end. You know what I mean? Because almost everyone
Still not
kind of
Debbie.
seen. Debbie's still less so.
Cunt.
Wow. Really? You think so? I think she kind of turned it around.
No.
I feel like she felt bad.
No.
No?
No, because next season she's going to do something equally as bad.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
She's a horrible human being.
I like how it resolved. That was cool. Like,
Sure.
that really does set up season 3 very nicely.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be going to Vegas, taking it on
Which is actually
not on the
where...
road, but...
That's actually
the
where Glow
stage.
died. Was in
Well,
Vegas.
Spoiler alert.
You didn't watch the documentary?
I did, but like, first season, bro.
Watch it again.
No, I don't want to. I watched it already.
Alright, well, okay.
Even though I don't remember shit about it.
Then shut the fuck up.
All right, then. I guess I will. And that's all.
Well, hold on.
Okay, let's talk about Glow.
Now, do you think Bash has the AIDS?
I don't think so.
Because, remember, he was on the phone, like, he got the phone call when him and Debbie were at that, like, convention.
Yeah.
And I think he was sleeping with, like, the
dude?
The
His
butler. Yeah. And
But they made it...
he was getting it, like, deep cleaned.
One more time?
He was getting the house deep cleaned.
Well, because I just don't think he wanted anything, because... So, the butler died. I think he just wanted his memory erased as best he could.
Well, no,
like,
because they said
butler
he
was
died. He died to complications of ammonia.
Right.
So, I mean, I think they had a thing going on, and he may be worried that he had AIDS.
I don't think so, because he was so, when they went to the gay bar to go find him, he was so like, where am I?
Right,
Like, I
but
don't know
what
what's
if he's
going
not
on here.
comfortable with his sexuality yet?
That could be
And yeah,
true.
okay, fine. He decides to marry Britannica.
Right, because
But
that's what he thinks he needs to do.
But right, which
Classic conflict.
I think he could be gay, and you're going to see that more in Vegas.
Sure. Okay.
And I think he may have the AIDS.
May
Sadly,
have a touch of the AIDS.
he may have a touch of the AIDS.
That is
sadly.
a shame. You know, he's a great character.
And we'll take that out on the bummer note.
Womp womp. So, Nation, San Diego Comic-Con. Ooh, you feel that buzz? You feel that heat? You feel that warmth right behind you? It's Comic-Con, baby.
Oh, I thought it was a dog in heat.
No.
Oh.
A freak without warning. So, we're going to talk about some comic book arcs. So, we're going to talk about our favorite comic book storylines, our overarching plots, and stuff like that. You want to give me some, Tom? You want to give me one?
Sure.
Give me, Tom. Let's hit it, buddy.
We are
this
gonna-
is your
We're gonna
fucking
start-
thing, buddy. You're wearing a Batman t-shirt right now. This is your thing.
Though we're going to be talking about a lot of Marvel.
Well, that's perfectly fine. So, what do you got? Hit us with one.
We're going to start with Maximum Carnage.
Maximum Carnage, man. That was one of my first graphic novels I ever picked up. Mid-90s Spider-Man storyline. Incorporated all the Spider-Man books at the time. So, a amazing. Web of Spectacular and Spider-Man proper. All the different artists. And Spider-Man Unlimited. Can't forget Spider-Man Unlimited.
Those were usually like here's the annual story.
Exactly, yeah. I think they pump those out every other month.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man Unlimited #1 started off Maximum Carnage.
Oh shit!
And
Okay.
ended in Spider-Man Unlimited #2. So I guess it was bi-monthly or something like that. Like, they pumped this fucking thing out, man.
They really
I think this
did.
was like
And they
12,
didn't fuck
14
it up.
episodes. No, they didn't, because you had to go back to back. You had to go from like Web of Spider-Man to Amazing Spider-Man to Spectacular Spider-Man, and then back again. Obviously, I played the SNES beat-em-up game growing up, too, with the green jelly music and the red cartridge. And so this kind of really did solidify just my Spider-Man love. The animated series was out around that time, too. The comics were just everywhere.
You have the anime series, right?
Or something like that. Yeah. Something, I don't know. So this definitely has a soft spot in my heart.
Okay.
Maximum Carnage.
Put a hard place in your pants.
Oh yeah, the hardest, man. 6 hours. Ugh. I don't want to talk about it. Basically, Carnage breaks free, makes this ragtag family of Sheik, Doppelganger, Carrion, Demogoblin, and they just massacre New York City.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where it's like, didn't Carnage kill a bunch of people in New York City? Nah, no one ever mentions that again.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that seems to be a big deal. But because it was only in the Spider-Man comics, I guess it's fine. But on the hero side, you got Spider-Man, and he teams up with Venom for really kind of the second time, because the first time was when Carnage debuted.
Yes.
Black Cat, Firestar, Michael Morbius, Deathlock, Iron Fist, Captain America. Dude, I mean, I don't want to say the hits keep on coming, but then you got Night Watch, and then you got...
Was Cap the only Avenger?
Cap was the only Avenger. Yeah, the Avengers were out doing something. I don't know what, because at the end, the West Coast Avengers show up, which I guess is the best thing they can do at the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
not Thor, Thunderstrike was in the mix. Tom's face. But super cool. Definitely 90s, man.
Very 90s.
Like that fucking grungy.
Fucking see-through mesh and...
Yeah, exactly.
Like
a lot of that. You got
Sheik,
which is just like a Cloak and Dagger. Obviously, you're still in there.
Yep.
Sheik. That was actually the first time I saw Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
Which probably would be a lot of people's first time they saw Cloak and Dagger. Because
no one ever admits that they like Cloak and Dagger.
I think they're okay. I like the dichotomy of those two characters. Yeah. But I dig it. One of my favorites of all time.
And no clones.
Well, no clones in that one.
Well,
Doppelganger.
Well, no, Doppelganger came after Infinity Gauntlet.
Right, but he, I mean, not a genetic clone.
He was a doppelganger.
Not a genetic clone.
Right. I think he was the only.
He was just a monster. He might have been the only carry.
And
one to carry through.
Yep. And Nation, you could yell at me if I'm wrong on that one. By all means.
He actually, I think in that, I have that first issue. He presumably dies. Like, I remember he was trying
Doesn't he get dropped off of, like, a building?
And lands on a fucking fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's presumed that he dies.
Like, and she, like, loses her shit.
Well, no. I'm talking about in Infinity Gauntlet. Like, Doppelganger's presumably dead.
Right, yeah.
But, obviously, he comes back. And, yeah, during, like, a fucking fight between Carnage and Doppelganger, he drops him, and you see, like, he ping-pongs down the buildings. Yeah, Sheik loses her mind. There's a lot of stuff like that. It was definitely Carnage's, like, his big story.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Now, this next story arc came up on everyone's list.
Yeah.
Age of
the Nation.
Age of Apocalypse.
Love it.
Like, just the art, the stories that came out of there.
I think it was around the same. Was it around the same time as Maximum Carnage? I think it was more or less Maximum Carnage / the Clone Saga with the X-Men. So this was all X-Men stories.
Yeah.
So your Uncanny X-Men, your X-Men, your Generation X, your Excalibur, your X-Force, your X-Factor, all of that stuff.
And
anything else? Wolverine. That was a comic series at the time. Yeah, there was a lot of X books back then.
Yeah. Oh God. And they're starting that up again.
Oh, of course.
Because you got
money.
Yeah, X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold.
We don't talk about
X-Men Black.
We talk about in the past.
Talk
in the past, not the present.
Well, calm down. So pretty much the whole
The
premise of this story was the Emkaron crystal was one of the premises was the Emkaron crystal was coming towards Earth.
Sure.
The main premise was the fact that Legion, Professor Xavier's son,
Yep.
went back into time to try to kill Magneto as a young man, where he was, Magneto who wasn't too...
Who wasn't fucking evil.
He wasn't evil.
Quote, unquote.
He also wasn't too trained in his powers yet. So
Legion wanted to try to do a thing. He wanted to try to do a good thing.
He wanted to kill Magneto because he feels that if Magneto never existed, then Professor Xavier's dream of mutant and human unity could happen.
And boy, does he whiff it.
Yeah, he really does. So
well, actually, no, he
whiffs.
Well, but I mean, he never expected, I guess, his dad to, like, get in front of the...
Yeah, I was going to get there, but cool.
Well,
but
right,
no, step in front of me like Professor X just did in front of Legion Cyblade.
Perfect symbol right there. Legion Quest, also a pretty good comic arc, because that deals... It's only like 4 issues. But because it seems like such a bullshit throwaway thing, like you don't know what's going to happen at the end, and then it leads to something bigger, that's always cool.
Yeah. The very cool thing about that was like when the Emkaron crystal hits Earth,
right?
You see a lot of people like frozen, like Gambit and Rogue kissing,
right?
Which is like everyone was just like, "Oh my god, that actually happened!" And then I think Wolverine popping his claws into Sabretooth's brain was another thing that like got frozen in time. So then it goes to this reality where Apocalypse rules the Earth.
Because it takes it from that time point.
Yep.
That Professor X was not able to fulfill his dream, or at least work towards his dream.
Right.
So therefore, the only person next of kin, so to speak,
is Magneto. Yep.
So then Magneto, in Charles Xavier's memory,
finds the X-Men. Yep. And it like, I mean, everyone's used to the original 5.
Sure.
This was like Rogue, Wolverine, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, like a whole Iceman Gambit.
It was all your favorite characters plus Morph.
Yeah.
And Blink. And but just kind of modified. Yeah. So like no one was able to put like Cyclops in check until Mr. Sinister picked him up.
Right.
And he had both Summers brothers working for him.
Yep.
Therefore working for Apocalypse. You know what I mean? And
Cyclops kind of realized, like, this is wrong.
Well, yeah, because he's Scott Summers through. But then, like, with him on that side of the alignment...
You have Sabretooth.
Well, Sabretooth's on the good side.
Yeah.
With
Wild Child as, like, a pet.
But also, Jean Grey and Logan are in a relationship.
Yep, they're in a relationship, and they're more like... They're more like Magneto's like Black Ops
pretty
team.
Much, yeah.
Like being like, yo, go do this, but don't let anyone know that I'm the one that sent you.
Right.
Fucked up thing about that was Wolverine having one arm because he got the hand blown off.
But also he got the receipt by taking out Cyclops' eyes. So Cyclops has this nice pirate look, and Wolverine has a whacked off arm. Whacked off arm? Can you whack off an arm?
You could slice an arm.
Oh, well, that's exactly what happened.
Yep. I mean, one of the most fucked up things also was when Cyclops and Havoc's crew, who was made up of North Star and his sister.
Sure.
And they're trying to escape, and a Sentinel fuses with Havoc mid-teleportation. So he gets transported back to their headquarters with a fucking Sentinel hand just sticking out of him. And then Dark Beast does his Dark Beast thing. And that was cool. Dark Beast was awesome. Dark Beast was
a cool look. So Beast in this universe works for
mad scientist. Yeah, like, so the epitome of mad scientist.
Absolute fucking batshit evil scientist.
Yeah.
What else we got out of Age of Apocalypse? Like
X-Man.
X-Man, yeah. So
which
like
was
the perfect clone of Jean Grey and Scott Summers.
Yep.
Who is one of the most powerful mutants still. Is that still a thing? I know in like the 2000s he still was.
Yeah, I think he died and they came back. Like I think his powers burned his body out in the 2000s, and exactly. Chug it. That's exactly how I feel every time someone brings up Nate Gray.
Nate Gray. I was a big fan of Generation X.
Generation Next.
Back there, so Generation Next, yeah. So Banshee's. Oh, actually, no. Banshee, I think, was part of the X-Men proper.
Mm-hmm.
I think Colossus was the leader of Generation Next. So you had Jubilee, Chamber, who had like complete control of his powers.
Jubilee was not on that team. Jubilee was on Gambit and the Externals.
Oh, yes, you're right. Husk was definitely Husk was with the Guthries. Oh shit.
No. Husk went with the Gunthries after Age of Apocalypse, and when they went back to Age of Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
Husk was with Generation Next.
Okay.
Because I believe she was with Chamber.
Yeah, I believe so too.
And Chamber didn't have the...
No, Chamber had control of his powers.
Right,
yeah,
his
so
whole
his whole face didn't blow the fuck up. Yeah, exactly. But then you also have Magneto running the X-Men, and like we were talking
Joe Midoriya drawing.
Yeah, great art. We also have who else was an Iceman, who was like this more of a mutant look Iceman, like he was,
metamorphic, I would say.
Yeah, he was always in ice mode.
Yep.
Really, all sometimes not even humanoid.
Yeah,
like
no.
He was very, I don't want to say monstrous, but like they really altered his look for someone who's just basically a man made of ice. Like they really altered his look.
You want to talk about someone they altered? Nightcrawler. Like Nightcrawler,
they just gave him like this nice little eye tattoo.
Right, but
and
the
some
thing is,
shoulder
like
pads.
he was more violent, in
Right.
this than he, like, for fuck's sakes, he teleported Deadpool's head off. I was like,
I'm sure Deadpool had a comment.
because, well, yeah, because he had more of the influence from Mystique.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then you had Destiny, and they were trying to save Cypher, Doug Ramsey, which whatever, let him die. Doug Ramsey sucks.
So one of my favorite things about this, and I mentioned this when I was reading Venomverse,
Okay.
was the inclusion. Like, so that was a Spider-Man book.
Yeah.
Venom by proxy. This is an X-Men tale, but you still need to talk about all these pivotal Marvel Comics characters. So there's a human resistance, basically fighting against Apocalypse.
Yes,
led by Gwen Stacy.
Yup.
Bruce Banner's up in the mix. Like Peter Parker, I think
Ben
was
Grimm
in there,
and
but
Sue
he
Storm.
died or something like that. Yeah,
Yep.
so you still have these heroic characters that show up from time to time that aren't in an X-Men book. Like it is an X-Men series storyline through and through.
Yeah.
I mean, Age of Apocalypse, for Christ's sakes, but it doesn't exclude the world
other
around
universe.
it, which was something I didn't really like about Maximum Carnage. Like, I get that you needed to be a Spider-Man book, but like having guys like Captain America, that was cool. Like, where the fuck's... I mean, they do show off, like, the Fantastic Four are in space or something like that.
Macro
They're doing
universe.
this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of, like, bullshit, just wipe it away.
Sue Storm's blowing Namor again.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, what are you going to do? So, including all these other characters who are, like I said, pivotal Marvel Comics characters, that's always nice. Like, I like that. And I think we're going to definitely be talking about some of that in some of the other comic arcs that we're going to be mentioning. But yeah, Age of Apocalypse is fantastic. I actually have a poster of the characters from Age of Apocalypse because of the art. I love the costumes. Like, it's great.
And
great
that's
stuff.
what I loved about X-Men Legends 2, is that they...
You had an Age of Apocalypse. Like, that was kind of the storyline.
Yeah.
Was Apocalypse's rise to power.
Yep.
Also, Apocalypse is just a great villain. Like, did not get a fucking fair shake in that movie.
Minus the giant A belt buckle.
Well, what are you gonna do, man? Someone thought that was a nice
What does your name
design, and
stand-
they kept it.
What does your name start with? Oh, shit, yeah, A. Cool. Okay.
All right, let's get him an A, even though it doesn't speak English. He
Yeah.
should really be, like, Egyptian and shit.
So, some really good ones that have also come out is Executioner Song,
Okay.
which the premise of that is Strife, who is Cable's double without his helmet on, attempts to assassinate
That's gotta be
Professor
the most
X.
retarded thing I've ever heard in my life.
He's a
Without
clone.
his
He's
helmet
a clone.
on? What does that mean?
He has...
So when he takes his helmet off, when he puts his helmet on, he's a different person?
He has Cable's face.
Oh.
He looks exactly like Cable.
So he just looks like Cable.
Like dead ringer, like to the
So
point.
he just looks like him.
Yeah, they were
Oh.
they were hunting Cable down because they thought it was Cable who tried to assassinate Professor X.
Oh, okay.
So, and then of course, which led to the X-Men. Shut up.
No, it just made it seem like it was such a big deal. Like, well, I'm gonna take my helmet off. I look like Cable.
Which
like
led
wait, he
to-
looks like Cable regardless.
Which led to X-Men and X-Force. No, I'm sorry, X-Men and X-Factor fighting X-Force.
Okay.
And then eventually, Cannonball and he he makes a deal to get Boom Boom out, so Boom Boom could fight with them. I'm like, really? You have Richter, you have Siren, you have all these awesome. You have Warpath,
Let's not
and
throw the word awesome around. Jesus
you're going
Christ,
you're gonna go with Boom Boom just because you want to get into her knickers. Okay,
Knickers? Does Sam Garthy say knickers a lot?
cool. Yeah, well, he's a proper Southern gentleman.
Knickers? Really?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Very cool. And then eventually, one of the other cool things was a fight between Cable versus Wolverine and Bishop.
Okay.
And
That's pretty cool.
yeah, and Wolverine is like, all right, look, everyone. Wolverine's actually the voice of reason during that fight, and he's just like, Bishop wants to kill Cable, and eventually Wolverine cuts Bishop's gun and goes, why? Gotcha. He's like, I need to make sure he's 100% telling the truth before I put a claw in him.
Okay.
Cool thing was you actually got to see, even though Havoc was the leader of X Factor, you got to see him actually lead all of these group of mutants, because it was, let's face it, he's always in Cyclops' shadow.
Sure, absolutely.
So, that was very cool to see. And then eventually it all ends with a giant fight on the moon.
Where else would you have a giant fight?
Absolutely. The moon, Marvel loves.
Marvel loves the moon, ladies.
Marvel
You heard it here first. I thought Executioner's song was a... there was this character called the Executioner.
No. Yes, there was a character named the Executioner.
Yes, but that wasn't... I know that wasn't him,
it.
but I feel like his debut, they called Executioner... Maybe it was just like a... So, hang on a second. Executioner, EX, like, spelled properly?
In this... No, it's spelled X dash...
Executioner. Okay,
right.
Got you. All right.
This was also the birth of the Legacy virus.
Oh, I know, which is a big deal in X-Men.
Huge fucking deal.
Yeah, it's basically mutant AIDS.
Yeah, until Hank McCoy found a cure and he
Sacrificed Colossus.
Well, Colossus sacrificed himself, because the way the Legacy virus came about was
Future
Strife shot out this giant beam, and it was just kind of every bit of his power,
right,
and it just spread out, and so that's how they were like, okay, well, that's how that happened. Now we have to do the same thing.
Sure. And
Colossus sacrificed himself, because at that point he was in a dark spot. Kitty was dead, or Kitty was dating. Kitty was dating someone else.
Okay.
I think his sister was still dead and
right.
whatnot. So he was in a fucked up
sure.
spot.
Yeah, I would probably. I mean, to cure AIDS or live, yeah, I'd probably cure AIDS.
Yeah, but then he comes back, so it's okay.
Well, comic books.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Another fantastic X-Men story, Fatal Attractions. This was actually the first spot I saw Executioner, the character you're thinking of.
Really? He was in that long? Oh, wow. Okay.
That's where I
So
first
Fatal
saw him.
Attractions, Tommy.
Pretty much, Magneto's had it with humanity's bullshit.
Right, okay.
So he wants to, he wants to rule the world. He also wants to make, a utopia for mutant kind.
Sure.
There's, it comes to a head in X-Men 25.
Oh, 25. Okay, my bad.
He shoots out this giant EMP, emergency rooms, fucked up, boom, boom, boom. Professor X is like, we can't let him do this. We're going up there. So he brings a group of Jean Grey and himself for telepathy and whatnot. Rogue and Quicksilver, for kind of fuck with him emotionally.
Okay.
Magneto.
Okay.
And then he brings the killers, Wolverine and Gambit.
Okay.
Which I was like, really? Gambit, really?
Yeah. I mean, at that point, Gambit was he was like a shady past character, so I guess that was their way of doing it. Where it was like, ooh, you're mysterious. I'm sure you'd kill a man.
Right.
Or maybe you have already.
Yeah. So then, there was one point where the battle's getting heated, and
he's fighting. They're fighting the Acolytes, right?
They're fighting the Acolytes, okay, gotcha. And Magneto tries to kill Quicksilver.
Okay.
Wolverine just comes and just giant gash in Magneto's chest, and then
Okay.
Magneto turns and rips out the adamantium.
Right, yeah, which is a
Wolverine.
sick, like, through every pore of his body. Just
Holy
rips-
shit.
yeah.
It is one of the, like, most heartbreaking things because Jean Grey is actually holding him together.
Sure.
So, like, she's also in his head, so she's feeling everything that he's feeling. This was also the birth of Onslaught.
Yes.
Because the evilness of...
Well, so it basically, once that happens, Professor X faces off with Magneto.
Right, he
in
goes...
this psychic
mind
battle.
wipes him.
Exactly, yeah. It does, like, the
Just-
one thing that I'm sure he never, ever wanted to do to anybody
Yep.
in his life. Mind wipes him.
Yep.
But the seed starts to plant. A little bit of evil trickles in from Magneto's psyche or whatever
Into Professor X.
and just basically forms a demon baby
Yep.
known as Onslaught.
One of the fucked up things about this was Colossus turning on the X-Men.
Right, okay.
Well,
I think I remember
it was
that.
at his sister's funeral.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, he was probably burnt, twisted or something.
Right, I mean,
You know what I
their
mean?
parents also just got killed.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But, like, they're sitting there, and
probably
all,
like, this doesn't work. I'm going with this
all
guy
the
now.
energy projectors are just filling Bishop up.
Oh, to...
And Bishop has Magneto on the ropes, and then just Colossus just comes full force and just punches, like, knocks Bishop out. This is
Gotcha.
also, after everything is said and done, Wolverine ends up leaving the X-Men.
Sure.
Because he's just like, I'm...
Yeah, no, that sounds like a really fucked up
You know,
time in the
and that's when you
X-Men.
find out that it wasn't just adamantium. Like, his
Right.
claws weren't... those claws were always there
Bone
because
claws,
he
yeah.
started popping them as
Yeah.
bone. You know, then you get the feral Wolverine, which
Yeah,
is
there was
very
almost,
weird.
Yeah, it was this weird, like, almost like the adamantium was keeping him humanoid.
Right.
Because, yeah, then, like, other artists would start making him way more
Feral.
animal-like.
Yep.
Yeah, like, the nose would just start creeping up the face. And
He was wearing
like,
a
they even gave him, like, a
bandana.
different font when he spoke.
Yep.
Like, it was just, like, he's definitely more bestial.
Had the hair on the
Yeah.
forearm.
Yeah, definitely a weird 90s look that
Yeah.
they wanted to give Wolverine or
Fucking
whatever.
90s, man.
Well, actually, so we did speak about it a little bit. I'll talk about it. Onslaught. Reading comics, that was my first big-time Marvel Comics
Okay.
storyline. So, like we talked about, the premise is basically that this evil within Professor X, and that evil is coming from almost like this little from Magneto, who again is mind wiped. And there's a character named Joseph who shows up, who is Magneto, but he has no recollection
He's a
or whatever.
clone.
He ends up being a clone.
Fucking
It
clones!
doesn't matter.
God damn you, Marvel and your clones.
So what happens is then Onslaught is trying to take Professor X's dream, but just relegating it as complete, like, no one is safe.
Kind of like Age of Apocalypse.
Exactly, yeah. So there was this one storyline where I guess Jean Grey, I think this is what Bishop was hung up about from the get-go, that Jean Grey sent out a distress call saying that one of the X-Men is attacking us from inside.
And
so
he
so
thought
that's
it was
when Bishop
Gambit
that's
at
when
that
Bishop
point.
came from the future to the past, blames everybody under the sun except for Professor X.
Really blaming Gambit, though.
Well, yeah. 'cause
Holy
Gambit's
shit, he
shady
was
as
going
shit,
for
bro.
Gambit.
And yeah, it turns out to be Onslaught.
Yep.
So Onslaught is just this personification of all of Magneto's evilness and all of Professor X's powers.
And
he's-
the Gem of Sidorak.
right, yeah, he
He ripped the Gem
he
of
ripped
Sidorak
that-
out of Juggernaut.
yes. So
Yeah.
he became pretty strong.
Yeah.
But it definitely is all encompassing of all the Marvel comics. So he wants to basically go on this entire, I don't want to say killing spree, but I guess just this raid of America, and he gets control of all the Sentinels. So you have like your Hulk comics and your Spider-Man comics and all your other Marvel characters. They're fighting Sentinels. So I don't want to say like that's all they're doing, but like that's how they're tying into this larger
Right,
scope.
yeah.
And he also wants to steal Reed and Sue Richards' kid,
Franklin.
because he is one of the most powerful mutants on the planet. All of this basically culminates in this huge battle in New York City, and the Avengers all have to basically sacrifice the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, Hulk, all have to basically sacrifice themselves into Onslaught. It's this weird thing. And that's how they stopped him.
And mutants weren't allowed to touch him.
Something
because he would get stronger.
Like that. Yeah, it definitely had to be
cancel everything out.
Yeah, it had to be non-mutants.
Which is because I remember like Quicksilver tried to go in.
Right. That led to the short-lived Heroes Reborn storyline, which basically kind of just revamped and relaunched Iron Man, Captain America, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Hulk. And it has that awful
Rob Liefeld
Captain America, who's got like a yard full of pecs. Like it's really bad.
Pecs for days, baby. Pecs for days.
This is a sidebar. I heard this on a podcast. They had Stan Lee talking to Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane.
Okay.
And Stan Lee is just fucking shade. Yes. And he is on top of the game, man.
I love him.
He's just like, how long does it take for these guys to get dressed with all of this armor that they're putting on? And he's just like
it's amazing.
It's so funny. And like Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld are like, yo, you know these cannons, but they're like triple cannons? Like, they're fucking children. They're nerds. Yeah. And Stan Lee is just like, these fucking whippersnappers got no idea. And just fucking like, just shade. Salt. Everywhere, man. It's hilarious. But they end up coming back, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But that, again, like I said, that was my first big Marvel Comics all-encompassing storyline. And it wasn't that great.
Came back because Franklin Richards had the blue ball, which was the Earth that
unit
they were in.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
Which is very odd.
I think
again, not that great, but
yeah, not that great, but still like that was a cool premise, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure there's definitely more all-encompassing Marvel Comics storylines that we're gonna get to.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Guardian Devil, which is written by Kevin Smith.
Okay.
It's about the 16-year-old girl drops a baby off at Daredevil's, step. And he's just kind of doing soul searching throughout the whole book.
Okay.
And he's just kind of like, no. Because at that point, like, Matt Murdock was known as the ladies' man. Mm-hmm. And, so like you had Black Widow showed up in it, which was pretty cool. She, Matt Murdock ends up being under the control of this hallucinogenic drug by, I'll give you one guess.
Mysterio?
There you go!
Yeah,
Fucking Mysterio.
I like that when these storylines pull from other villains. Like other characters' villains. Like,
and it turns out the reason Mysterio is deciding to fuck with Daredevil is because he's tired of getting beaten by Spider-Man.
Sure.
So
gotta change it. Gotta change your piece.
Bullseye ends up killing Karen Page, who
she had to come on a bit.
Who was Daredevil's true love. There was a great moment between Spider-Man and Daredevil talking on top of the Brooklyn Bridge. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, look, he's like, you just gotta go, day by day. He's like, it does get easier, it does suck, but you gotta go on it day by day. Fantastic book, highly recommend it.
Cool.
I'll let you borrow it whenever you want.
I'm gonna be honest. How long is it?
It's not long.
Okay. I might be interested in it. I picked up recently, actually, Shadowland. I didn't get into it. I like the premise. I am a fan of Daredevil, but really almost like the only bit of Daredevil that I've seen outside of the MCU shit is is basically when he teams up with Spider-Man.
Okay.
But I'm down for that. I know the premise. Basically, the Hand comes to Daredevil and is like, "Yo, we want you to lead us," and he's like, "Absolutely not." And then they're gonna be like, "All right, well, we're gonna ask the Kingpin," and then he's like, "All right, well, hang on, maybe I will."
Well, Kingpin was leading the Hand for a bit.
Right, but then Daredevil's like, "Okay, fine, I guess I'm gonna lead the Hand," and then there's a lot of like demonic stuff involved, which I'm kind of interested in.
Yeah,
and
it's very good.
Our boy Spider-Man shows up, so
absolutely.
I wanna get into that. So no spoilers, please. Even though you probably spoiled it already.
Yeah, Identity Crisis, written by DC.
DC stuff we're talking about.
Put out by DC.
Oh.
Written by Brad Meltzer, who is a mystery writer.
Okay.
What's
it all about?
I thought
this was the Spider-Man one.
No.
Okay.
It's all about. It's a murder mystery.
Okay. Who's it dealing with? Who's the character?
Elongated man.
What the fuck?
He's a Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
He can stretch. And
wait, So DC put it out.
DC
so
put
is
it out.
DC characters or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
DC put it out.
All right. I'm sorry if I'm panicking. What the hell is going on?
Why are we talking DC?
Yeah.
We're Marvel.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll go back.
We shifted gears.
We'll get back to Marvel. Don't worry.
Right.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I,
All right.
You know, I like to, sprinkle love everywhere.
Yeah, I bet.
Jizzle.
Splurt it out.
Exactly. So, Elagnated Man's wife is every year for his birthday, she sets up like a big surprise party.
Okay.
Turns out, though,
How's the elongated man's wife even alive if he could stretch any part of his body?
she gets killed.
Oh, yep. Called it.
She gets set on fire.
Oh, yeah. I'd imagine split in half, but okay.
No.
He's wasting his powers.
So now it's just it turns into a murder mystery because it's like, oh shit, Elagnated Man's identity was...
I have to practice that phrase.
Yeah. His identity was known.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. Superman's isn't. Someone sent Lois Lane a letter saying, I know who your husband is, and the S is written like Superman's S.
Okay.
Which means hope.
Okay. Oh, is that from the movie?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, pretty much all the heroes are just like, okay, we're in fucking panic mode now.
Right, yeah,
because
somebody knows
Superman's identity. Boom.
Gotcha.
We gotta take care of this right
it was
now.
Elongated Man.
Turns out to be... Are you gonna read it, or can I spoil it?
No, I'm not
It turns out that the person who's been threatening everyone is... It turns out to be the Atom's wife.
Okay.
Jean Loring. Because she was just like, I killed... I can't... Sue Dibney. That was... That was Ralph Dibney's wife's name.
What the fuck is Ralph Dibney?
Elagnated Man. I'm trying to...
Alright, gotcha.
So...
You say E-Man.
E-Man, there you go.
Right.
She's like, because, after Sue died, Clark ran to Lois. And,
and he knows
and Black Canary ran to Green Arrow, and, and she's like, and you were going to run to me, which you did. And he's like, you're insane. She also hired Captain Boomerang to go after Tim Drake's father, and he kills Tim Drake's father.
All right.
So she was just like, you just left a boy orphan because
Well,
you're fucking insane. So he locks his wife up in Arkham.
Sure. Okay.
Very cool story.
All right.
Another DC story, Kingdom Come.
Yeah, I know you're big on Kingdom Come.
This was written by Mark Waid.
Okay.
I believe, and drawn by the great Alex Ross.
Alex Ross did some good shit, man.
This takes place in the future of DC, dystopian. Superman is in hiding because he failed at saving Lois.
Okay.
Batman is old and retired. He has robot bats that just patrol Gotham.
Okay.
And then you have Nightwing, who's takes the persona of Red Robin now.
Okay.
His daughter is in love with Batman's son. It's a very cool story. Shazam's a huge huge part of it. Shazam! Which I'm actually looking forward to that movie. Sidebar. It does. It looks fun. We're gonna jump back to Marvel real quick.
Well, all right. So here's a segue.
Okay.
Marvels.
Marvels.
You want to call it that? I mean, that was, a 4-issue at start.
Yeah, that
Alex
was more
Ross
of like a
on the ground.
man on the street type of thing.
That was cool.
That was very cool.
Like, maybe not necessarily a comic arc, but like if we're going back to
Earth
Marvel
X.
and we're talking about Alex Ross, that's how we get back into it.
And Earth X, he did the covers.
Okay. What was Earth X? I don't remember.
Earth X was a future dystopian story of Marvel.
Okay.
Reed Richards is running Latveria because he's all heartbroken because Sue's
Sue
dead.
died or something. Yeah, okay, sure.
Namor is constantly on fire on one side of his body because Franklin Richards set him on fire.
Okay.
Because he killed Johnny.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very cool. Again, it's very cool, but it's very wordy.
I like the alternate takes on shit. I have to say.
I think I have it.
Apocalypse, I like. So yeah.
All right. Civil War. Civil War.
The first one.
The
obviously.
first, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And not the MCU.
Right. Yes.
This was about a mutant named Nitro who accidentally blows up a whole town in Connecticut.
Right.
So then they're like, all right, super beings, not just mutants, but super beings need to be held accountable for their actions.
Right. A lot of parallels in the movie.
So Stark is all about it.
Right.
Captain America's like, fuck you, no.
Right.
One of the coolest things is when Stark tried to approach the X-Men about registering. Mm-hmm. And Emma Frost is like, you realize you're coming to us when the government wants to do nothing but make us register our lives because, you know, they're paranoid about us. They're like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Another cool thing was Punisher comes to join Captain America's team, sees Captain America is working with some villains, he shoots the shit, he destroys these villains. Captain America beats the shit out of Punisher, and Punisher's not raising a hand, and Spider-Man's like, the fuck? Like, he's like, and Luke Cage is like, it's because Frank respects Captain America.
Right, yeah.
This was also when Spider-Man revealed his identity.
Yeah, that was a big one.
The best was Jameson's face, like, he tried to sue Peter Parker then, too.
Yeah, well, of course he would.
Which was funny.
Money-grubbing motherfucker.
Yeah, it's the mayor of New York.
Was he the mayor at the time?
No.
Oh, okay, so fuck him.
Yeah.
But what does it all end up happening?
Captain America gets killed.
Yeah, gets assassinated.
Basically by Sharon Carter.
Really kind of fucks up a lot of things in Marvel comics because with Spider-Man having his identity revealed, then Aunt May gets targeted, which then basically leads to Brand New Day.
So much anger about that.
All that shit. This leads to Norman Osborn's rise into Dark Reign. I'm sorry, in between though, because of all the scuffles, you have Secret Invasion with the Skrulls sneaking in.
Which Dark Reign happens after that because
Norman Osborn basically was the hero of that.
Tony Stark is ousted as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Norman Osborn
is in as the director of Hammer.
Yep. Yeah. Norman Osborn, I'm calling it right now, next great MCU villain.
Who do you cast?
I don't know. Okay. We will talk about that in the next Power Hour.
Another Spider-Man Power Hour?
Yeah.
Alright, so Nation, we reached out to you.
Yes, sir, we did.
For quite a few.
Yep. Let's hit them up.
Some of the ones you came back with was from the Punisher Max series, Slavers. Not too familiar on this one. Couldn't really find too much on it. I think it was just kind of in the whole, like, the Punisher Max story.
Right, gotcha.
Which it was, you know, the Max series is just
the Max is like an R-rated.
Yeah, Guardian Devil was part of the Max.
Oh yeah,
series,
really?
So it was very cool. Fucked up, like the shit they got away with.
Yeah.
In there was
because they were able to label it differently, and therefore, you know, they could have a different sort of content.
Yep.
Yeah.
House of M.
House of M's a big one.
House of M. I mean, mutants got wiped out. That was actually one of the only things that kind of stayed frequent for so long.
Right.
Was House of M. You know, House of M would really changed the mutants up.
Would you say that? Because I mean, would you say that was the first volley that Marvel Comics threw in the direction of the X-Men? Because I would say the X-Men franchise was pretty popular at the time. I don't really know the timeline of when the MCU was kind of building up, but I'm sure they were like, listen, we really like Iron Man's gaining popularity, Captain America, like their guys, their boys. We don't really want to give any more mutants away, so therefore
it was a way.
Mutants.
Yep. And then I guess once they started talking, that's when they did.
They probably realized that, like, listen, the X-Men are a cornerstone of Marvel Comics. They can't just disregard everything that they've ever done.
Which brings us to Messiah Complex, which was when the first mutant Hope was born. Yes. Cable takes her. And he's charged to protect her.
Okay.
This has one of the most heartbreaking deaths. Nightcrawler.
Oh right, yeah.
Dies, and it is one of the most heartbreaking things because you have Beast who gets up in Cyclops' face, who's like, "This is on you." He's like, "This is all because of you." Wolverine gives such a heartfelt eulogy that brings a tear to a grown man's eye.
Gotcha.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah, fuck you. So definitely go out, read Messiah Complex.
Gotcha.
Ends of the Earth Spider-Man.
I looked this up.
Okay.
I was unfamiliar with this. It is almost like Dr. Octopus's last hurrah.
Okay.
He gets the Sinister Six back together for one big old heist because Doc Ock knows that he doesn't have much time left on this
Okay.
earth. I'm super interested. I didn't want to read too much into it because I'm a big fan of Sinister Six bullshit. I love supervillain team-ups. And this does, in a way, lead to Superior Spider-Man.
Okay.
Which basically then Doc Ock is completely on the ropes. And then I think the storyline's Dying Wish gets to inhabit the body of Peter Parker.
They are bringing him back.
Yes, I did
as
see
Superior
that.
Octopus.
Superior Octopus, yeah. So it's like this
Pretty
weird, like, Superior Spider-Man, Iron Spider suit. Yeah, that looks neat. But I'm always down for more Spider-Man storylines.
Absolutely.
I want to look into that.
Another great one, Phoenix Saga, which is when the X-Men go up to space to try and once they stop a meteor from crashing to Earth.
Sure.
And
that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty heroic.
And Jean Grey saves them by pretty much using her TK powers, and she gets not infected, but inhabited by the Phoenix, which then also leads to Dark Phoenix Saga.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix Saga. Yep.
Which I kind of feel like I like Phoenix Saga. Dark Phoenix Saga, though, man, is so damn good.
Well, yeah, because it's always good when you have a big time hero 100% of the time that has to turn for whatever reason.
Yep.
I think that was the allure for Secret Empire.
Okay.
Which I know it's fresh in people's minds that basically Cav was a Hydra agent the whole time or a duplicate. I don't really know exactly, but I know that's interesting to me. Like having someone just kind of flip like that and being like, oh, they're not on our side anymore, but they're a bad guy, but we love them because we grew up with them or whatever.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's always a nice conflict that the heroes have to basically come to. So
very cool.
Yeah, as far as X-Men books are concerned, like I would definitely I wouldn't want to read a lot of these, but because I'm mostly Spider-Man. So any more X-Men ones?
Days of Future Past.
Oh yeah, of course.
Is great.
Another alternate history take.
Alternate history has that classic picture of Wolverine getting blasted by a Sentinel and just bones are just left.
Sure, yeah. Or even the cover for it.
Yeah.
The one where it's
Wolverine
and
Kitty
Pryde.
Yep.
And it's there's a wall of these posters of all the X-Men, and it's
been
like
parodied,
killed, slain,
yeah, exactly, captured, apprehended. Yeah, it's been that.
I have a Rick and Morty shirt.
Yeah, that cover's been.
It's awesome.
I think I had
one of my favorite stages in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, I think I had a Teen Titans parody of it, which is pretty cool. So that's very cool. I mean that's kind of where they get the second X-Men movie that Bryan Singer did, Days of Future Past, where apparently Kitty Pryde has time travel powers now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course.
Well, not even time travel powers, but powers that she
mental power. Yeah.
To time travel. Yeah, no, that's accurate.
And we are gonna wrap this up with
a
classic.
Sorry.
Dark Knight Returns.
That's Frank Miller?
Yes.
Okay.
Frank Miller, future Batman, who is just he will kill and beat the shit out of you.
I think
he has a fantastic fight with Superman.
Right. Okay. Yes. Which was taken a lot out of Batman vs Superman, right? Like the whole thing with Batman armored up and all that shit. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Which I mean, the reason he armored up was because of how old he was.
Superman. Oh yeah. True.
You know, I mean that, and then they made a animated movie, 2 animated movies.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't remember if you gave me Dark Knight Returns or you gave me the animated movie. You know what I mean? Like, but I remember seeing that story.
We watched it.
Yeah, and I remember us watching.
We watched them back to back.
Right. So maybe I had to do that. But isn't it like a three saga?
There is Dark Knight Strikes Again.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then they just did. I think they just wrapped up a third one, which
gotcha.
didn't get a lot of
Didn't get a lot of booze.
Didn't get a lot of buzz. The only buzz was that Jim Lee did a couple of covers.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, good for Jim Lee. I'm sure he needs the work.
Jim Lee is fantastic, man.
Gotcha.
And
I think that's all, right?
that is all we got for our and your favorite story
Right, yeah.
arcs.
Okay. Wait, I didn't talk about any of the Clone Saga.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, geez. I guess in that case, we'll wrap it up then.
Yeah.
Sorry there, Cash.
Yeah.
So, Rude Nation, next episode. Oh, it's a doozy. 1 year anniversary, boys and girls. I just listened to the first episode, and boy, is that rough.
Yeah.
So, I got a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to put some stuff together, celebrate our 1 year anniversary for this podcast in any sort of incarnation we got going on. And, Nation, by all means, if you want to hit us up with your favorite moments, anything, our antics, the rudeness, hit us up. Let us know, and we'll talk about it on the podcast on the 1 year anniversary spectacular. The next proper episode we have after that, we're going to be talking about, which also happened a year ago, the Long Island Retro Gaming Convention.
Neat.
What?
Neat.
Neat is what
Neat.
you're saying? Oh, good.
Neat.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that briefly. We all talked about Tommy's favorite shit right now, which is comics, and we're going to talk about my favorite stuff, which is gaming. So
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I'm sure Spider-Man will be involved somehow.
Somehow, yes. Oh, man, I got plans. I got to tell you. I'll take that off air.
Okay.
So I'm not having to commit it to it. In between those episodes, though, Rude Nation, get ready, because we are going to pop out another Wrestle special.
Woo!
This time,
SummerSlam,
all about SummerSlam.
brother.
So we're going to get this out right before the SummerSlam. I believe it's the 18th, the 19th. Thank you. It's going to be right before SummerSlam. We'll get it out to your ears. If you want to talk about SummerSlam, let us know. So hit us all up on social media for your 1 year anniversary stuff, any SummerSlam memories, or anything retro gaming. Or if you're going to be at the convention, you'll probably see us, or hit us up. We'll meet up. And, I don't know, hand jobs. So, social media on Twitter, at RudeBoys469. Facebook account, facebook.com/RudeBoys469. If you want to hit us up on the email, which you can, if you got some, you got some personal things you want to say or whatever, you want to throw us a sponsorship there, Monster Energy, Buffalo Wild Wings, whatever, Taco Bell. Miller, well, we got the Miller. Wink. Miller, send us the sponsorship. RudeBoys6969@gmail.com. If you're listening to us from the YouTube, which, whoa, you look surprised, Tom.
We have a YouTube.
We do have a YouTube. I know. bit.ly/RudeBoysRudeTube. That's how you can listen to every episode. That's how you can see all our video shenanigans. Anything that we want to put up, you can see it right there. Like it, subscribe it, love it, diddle yourself to it. You can also, what do you do, Tommy?
Flick the bean.
Podbean. Thank you so much for hosting this wonderful podcast of ours. RudeBoys.podbean.com. That's where we're at. If you want to hit me up and wish me back into the world, you can hit me on Twitter at Tesherms, TEH_SHERMS.
You lovely ladies want to direct message me to give me some hand jobs. Tommy_Cash with a K.
And that, Rude Nation, we're wrapping it up.
Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be back. If I had another MHL with me, I would clink it, and then we would drink it.
There you go.
But for now, we bid adieu.
This has been a Wall Street Bangers production.